We're gonna watch this IDubbbz clip, this bread tube. IDubbbz has become a bread tuber. It was inevitable, guys. It had to happen. This was the arc of his destiny, for sure. Had to be this way. We're gonna take a look at this clip. I'm gonna try not to interrupt them too much because I'm really going to do an anecdotal jumping board into a more personal topic about him and his wife, and about the nature of why he finds such basic concepts like, you know, a national identity and ethnic. What is an Italian, guy? What is an Italian? I can't comprehend, guys. What's an Italian? How does a person get to this? I'm going to try to share my thoughts and share how we should address some of these things for people like IDubbbz. And if y'all find that interesting or want to stick around to that, that'll be after we react to this clip. So I hope you guys enjoy.
This episode of IDubbbz Complains is all about immigration and xenophobia and racism and TikTok and the TikTokification of xenophobia. The interest in this topic was spurred on from a guy named Kurt Kaz. Now, this guy Kurt Kaz, he is a travel vlogger. So you would think with all of the traveling around the world, that would really open your mind to different cultures, different ways of life, and how we're all just people trying to live. But unfortunately, he's a great example of how you can travel the world, and as long as your mind is fucking closed, everything you see is just gonna confirm your biases.
Look at this. Look at the fucking states of this. Look at the states of this place.
You mind telling us what the state is?
Look at the fucking states of the city. Look at the states of this place. Look at this, guys. Look at this.
But I don't know what the state is. I need you, the vlogger, to tell me what the state is.
Look at this, guys. This is Rome. This is Europe. Does this look like Europe to you?
Yes, it looks like Europe to me. What the fuck else are we supposed to gather from this video? It's like this guy, this is so obnoxious. A lot of these guys that we're gonna look at, they have an idea in their head of what European culture is. Their idea of these things is like a caricature. It is like a postcard. It is not like what they're actually experiencing on a daily basis. What are these people doing on a regular basis? Selling and buying a bunch of produce in a market. And he's saying, this isn't Europe. I'm not seeing any white cheese vendors. This is nothing like Europe. This is nothing like Rome.
I don't see a single Italian here, guys. I am more Italian than any of these people. Look at this.
I don't see a single Italian here.
I don't see a single Italian here, guys. I am more Italian than any of these people.
Okay, dude. What the fuck are they? What the fuck are these people living in Italy? What does an Italian look like? You don't see an Italian? What are they gonna wear, a name tag? Yeah, my name's Riccardo, the Italian. Maybe instead of saying, I don't see any Italians here, you can fucking ask any of these people who are most certainly Italian. Ask them if they're Italian. I might not look like Mario, but I'm Italian. I know, it's hard to believe.
Alright, so very obviously here, Ian is incapable of understanding what a culture is, what an Italian is, what the difference between an Italian and the opposing object happens to be, the object in this case being a people who are not Italian. Rather than explaining that, I want to break down what I believe the psychological impetus of a person like this being incapable of acknowledging what all men have always known throughout all of human history. What is the factors that cause this sociological or psychological disconnect within Ian's mind? Well, the question would be, how would you explain it to a normal person? Let's say we've all been propagandized by destructive ideologies that destroy ourselves and our culture and our people and our nations. But how would you ask or deconstruct that? Well, you would start with some kind of operating first principle. You would say, well, do you know what it feels like to be a part of a family? Do you know what it feels like to be separated by that family from other families of the world? Why would this not work with Ian? It would not work for the reason that he is compromised on this foundational issue. Take marriage. He is extensively, on paper, married to this woman, this loose woman, Onicia, right? I think something like that. But marriage, as a sacred union, is inherently monogamous. It has a sacred entity to it. Obviously, you are supposed to marry as virgins and everything like that. These things have been slowly deconstructed in our modern world, but one thing that we are able to do is we are able to come back to a resemblance of what marriage is. We are able to resemble what it's like to build a family, starting with man and woman becoming one, a family coming out from that. This is something that Ian, quite frankly, does not have an experience with. His experience has been broken down. For example, one of the things that you have in marriage is sexual activity, exclusive to you and your wife. Well, this is not true for Ian, because I could go online right now, type in a few things, and have access to all of Onicia's news, which she has been posting on OnlyFans and other platforms for the past however long it's been. As long as I've known about them, I know that, you know, she's been advertising her body and her product, her feminine product, to the entire world for everyone to see. So even disregarding the fact that this is a ran-through woman who has now been observed sexually by, you know, anyone who could potentially desire it in the entire world, how could you ever explain to somebody what the sanctity of a culture, of a people is? What it means to be united to one thing with the separation from another thing. If I am united to my woman and to my wife, I expect a physical and physiological separation from other things of that type. I expect to be separated from other women. I expect her to be separated from other men in that way. Otherwise, our union is a non sequitur. It is a meaningless endeavor, which we are merely doing for namesake, which is why I say they are in namesake only married. If you are not able to build the most fundamental personal relationship, that with your own wife, your own spouse, then how could you possibly translate to somebody what a culture is, what a people is, what a broader family, an ethnic family is, and why that ought to be preserved? If you cannot preserve your own family, the most sacred thing in your own life, by choice you have made, then how on earth can you teach someone like that to preserve that which is a little bit more abstract? I haven't met everyone who shares my blood. I haven't met everyone who shares my ethnicity. I've met some of them. I have brothers. I have a large family. But I can't put an exact finger on what it means to be united to my people. We have blood memory. We have an ancestral bond in some way. And we have culture and religion, which unites us. But I can feel that. I can be drawn to that. But if you are broken down to the point where you can't even be drawn to your own father, mother, your sister, brother, your own wife, well, you're cooked. Your brain is cooked. Your brain is scrambled. The dopamine receptors and the gray matter in the brain, the rear portion of your brain, which recognizes these intuitive phenomena, it's over. It's over for you. And I use this as a jumping board to discuss this one thing, and then I'll be done. One of the things you find, you see, if y'all follow me online, you'll see that I bully people a lot in the comments, and it's a lot of ad hominem, and people wonder why I do that. They're like, didn't you study logic? Why do you use so many ad hominem? Because people who attack us are ugly, unhealthy, have a gross and detestable lifestyle, and that is the reason they are coming to these conclusions. They have forsaken their fundamental self. They have broken down themselves. They have forsaken their health, their well-being, and so it is inconceptual. There is no argument that you could possibly give to a person who will not even take care of their own body and their own partner and their own family. There is no argument you can give to such a person as to why they should take care of their extended racial family, why they should look out for the well-being of their nation. At the end of the day, people are defined not primarily by ideological motions or functions of religion or these abstract ideals. People are defined by what they are, by what they do, by their virtue, by their vices, by their passions, which either control them or they, through self-discipline and courage, take control over their passions and pursue a higher motive. And only then can we really even apprehend appropriately an abstract like religion or an ideal. And this is in the religious teaching of Christianity and Platonism. These are kind of ancient, obvious facts of the world. But you cannot make a sophisticated argument to a person who is a degenerate. You cannot make an argument about loyalty, about faithfulness, about the subject matter of upholding one's common good and the collective good of a people when they cannot even go to the gym and eat healthy and maintain an exclusive relationship with their own wife. How are you going to argue for a person like that to maintain an exclusive relationship as their nation? Such a thing is impossible. You will never win that argument. So the only thing we should do is bully them. We should mock them, we should bully them, and we should rightly take the moral high ground and grandstand above them and say, we know how to maintain exclusive relationships with our father, mother, sister, brothers, the people of our culture, and our own wife. And you cannot, because you suck. Y'all have a nice day.